So, in my last video about diet, I was basically talking about how I think that a lot of influencers and like people on Instagram that make generally promoting bodybuilding plans and fitness advice and diet advice promote and weight loss basically just promote like a caloric deficit and calories in, calories out. You can fit anything in as long as it meets your macronutrients. And I see a lot of that. And I just kind of wanted to clarify a little bit with the last video I did and go into a little bit more detail with it. So basically, I just think that people often overlook, like, what I mean is weight loss and having a healthy weight. I think that people only look at that side of fitness and nutrition and health and wellness. They think of just a healthy body weight, and that doesn't necessarily mean you're healthy. I mean, I know plenty of people that eat McDonald's every day and frozen pizzas and Starbucks coffees with like the sugar in them and everything, and I wouldn't say that they're healthy. Um, but what I mean is the quality of food you're putting in your body matters. And I'm not trying to sound like a zealot. I do eat uh, cheat meals once in a while, and it's more for a mental aspect. I realize that what I'm eating isn't great for me, but it's the mental aspect. But I've been doing this long enough to I know to get back on the wagon. I think it's destructive to do that. I don't know. I think early on, I think you can have cheat meals. I just think it's a slippery slope if you're gonna tell people that early on. I think it could be a slippery slope to fall back into eating really poorly from the beginning. And I've kind of like just shaped my taste for food has completely changed over the years to where I honestly don't crave a lot of, like, I don't even crave sweets anymore because my palate just, I don't consume a lot of stuff. So, like cake and whatnot. So I don't really have a desire for sweet stuff. If I eat honey and fruit, it's like dessert. But anyway, kind of back to the subject. I just think that people like it can be destructive if you basically say that just as long as it fits in your macronutrients, because you really should focus on the quality of food. And I think most people will find that if they eat calorically dense food, fruits, vegetables, dairy products within reason, like I'm eggs, cottage cheese, Greek yogurts, fruits, berries, bananas, apples, um, meats. I'm not going to say lean, but beef, poultry, whatever, vegetables. No matter what side of the coin you are, carnivore, animal-based diet, keto, paleo, carbohydrate, whatever, just high carb diet. But like spinach, zucchini, whatever. I think if you eat stuff like that, it's going to be hard for you to really overeat and get fat. I think when you're eating the ice cream and French fries and all this stuff that like Oreos, it's engineered in a lab to basically make you addicted to it, and it's hyper palatable to where it's basically like a drug addiction, like how somebody craves heroin is like how you crave Doritos. Um, it's just easier to get fat that way. I think that, I mean, as someone who went on carnivore and I did strict carnivore for a little while. I mean, I was eating like a six, seven, I don't know the exact, but like like a 7 ounce ribeye or something, an egg for breakfast, like fried egg or two. And like, dude, you're just not hungry after that. Like, I mean, and then the next meal, I'd probably eat a pound of ground beef that was like fatty, like 80/20 cooked in like with like beef tallow added in it. And when you're eating like that, like it's so like you're so satiated from eating that kind of stuff, you're hungry like hours and hours apart, but you're not getting the like snacky kind of cravings where you want to eat every hour. And I definitely got more of that when I was eating um, a lot more carbohydrates. But I'm not here to demonize carbohydrates, but I just kind of wanted to add more clarity. I just think it's about like if you're getting whole foods in your diet, mostly, if you just make the staple of your diet whole foods, I think you'll be better off as a whole and then follow like 80/20. So that's basically what I do, where it's like 80/20. 80% of the time I eat nutrient dense whole foods. And honestly, every meal I have is centered around protein and fat. And then, 20% of the time I'll eat, whatever I want that's unhealthy, whether that be a couple slices of pizza or ice cream. But sometimes I don't feel like even eating that. I'll go through really good phases of my training where I just don't even want to risk feeling poor or weak or any kind of issues, and I won't even crave it. But as long as you make that the cornerstone of your diet, whole foods, nutrient dense, I think you'll be better off. And it doesn't really have to be super complex. And I don't, as I mentioned the last video, I don't even count calories, and I stay around like 144, 45 pounds at my height. And it's just because I kind of can eye up food and kind of understand roughly how many calories it is just by looking at it in some ways. But it's just you're not overeating. I eat two or three square meals a day, and it's not really a lot of snacking. If I'm having a snack, it's like a handful of berries or like a cheese stick or two, but that's really about it. But you're not craving like, because when you eat all that stuff and you snack, you lose track of calories, and I mean it adds up. It's like this bag of chips is 240 calories, and then et cetera, and it really adds up. But worse than that is like the seed oils and everything else that stuff has in it and how processed it is. It's just not good for you. So I'm not going to go into super detail on that, but anyway, that's just the end of what I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to add a little bit more detail later.